Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another LCBI Esports game night. My name's Andy Prokopching. It is October 6th, and we're gearing up for another matchup. Tonight's matchup, both teams 1-1. This one is ranked 23rd in the league. LCBI drops down to 26th. I believe the team we're playing is Cherry Creek Elevation High School, located in Centennial. Not sure where they are, but anyway, yeah, somewhere down in the States. Yeah, they're currently tied with us, 1-1, ranked 23. We're 1-1, ranked 26th. So, welcome. We got all the players up here right now. They are determining who the cancels are and or which team or which players or which characters aren't allowed. So before we get into the action, let's break down the three roles you'll see on the battlefield tonight. So first off, you have the tank. That's the big guns up front. Tanks take the hit, hold the line, and clear the way for their teammates. They're the shield and the spear all at once. Next, it's the damage or the DPS. These are the playmakers, the sharpshooters, the brawlers, the ones who rack up eliminations and break defenses wide open. If you want a highlight reel moment, you're going to watch the DPS tonight, also known as the glass cannons. So these folks, a lot of give, they can't do a lot of take. And finally, it's the support role. So these are the unsung heroes to keep the team alive, powered up, and in fighting shape. Without strong support, no team survives long in Overwatch. So together, these three roles form the backbone of every squad, a delicate balance of strength, firepower, and strategy. And tonight, you'll see how important that balance is. We're going to have 5 different game modes potentially tonight, starting off with Control. It's both teams brawl over a single objective, win 2 out of the 3 rounds to claim the map. Next, you go to Hybrid. That's step 1, capture a point. Step 2, turn that point into a payload and escort it to victory. After the Hybrid, there's Escort. One team pushes a payload through the checkpoints. The other tries to stop them in the tracks. Next, you got Push. Teams fight to control a robot in the center, then push it as far as possible into enemy territory. That's my favorite. I love Push. And then finally, Flashpoint. It's the newest edition. Multiple control points unlock one at a time. But we're going to get started here. So, for tonight's lineup, we have Piper Murdoch, grade 12 student playing as Tank. Gamertag Muio. You have next you have Christopher Summick, grade 11 student. He's damage, DPS, C-Play Games. Next you have grade 12 student Evan Chang, DPS player, Aquamarine, followed by our 2 ladies in the support role, Randy Anderson, grade 11, and Sarah Knudsen, grade 9. Their gamer tags are Randy Anderson is Skyfire, and Sarah Knudsen is Cobalt Shadow. So looks like we've assembled our team, and we're waiting for our first round. This should be exciting. I'm excited. We see the LCBI Bisons devastating their ship that they use to fly here with. Yeah, just nothing but mayhem. Here's hoping that they can pull it together and get a win here. So again, the big thing that we've been focusing on, we've been saying this for the last couple of weeks: communication. Utilizing ultimates. Those are the 2 big things we're going to be looking for today: how well they can communicate with each other, organize a strategy, and then can they utilize those ultimates? Ooh, we gotta watch out because Evan Chang very close to the edge there. If you remember last week, he had a big challenge with last week falling off the edge, off the edge, and gets taken out. Not a lot of backup from his support on that one. And this is something that you have to look at. You know, it's this weird, delicate balance of if your tank has over half health, maybe they don't need to be healed. Maybe they need to be, maybe the healer is better buffing the damage of a DPS player. But okay, Bison's waiting for a respawn. They're all respawning. They all have to wait for their tank because they don't want to rush in there first. But not too bad of a defense from the opposing team here. Again, you want a strategic. It is a weird kind of balance because although you have an objective you've captured, if you can send one or two players up front just to stall them, just to hold them back while your team gets in position. Ooh, nice block. Way to isolate the Bison tank there. Gotta be careful in these corridors. But yeah, you want to send them off. You want to send them off in advance. Just kind of say, well, you not only do you have to fight on the objective, you have to fight to get to the objective. Well, let's switch it up. So now we're going to be following Christopher Summick, C-Play Games, as damage player. I think I believe there was a point where Chris actually played as tank for the Bisons. Bit of an upset for playing a very, very skilled team. Oh. And we see there the power of the ultimate. The power of the ultimate. Got an entire team wipe for the Bisons, but not a bad defense. Not a bad defense. But here we have Cobalt Shadow with an ultimate in the pocket. Cobalt Shadow, being a support character, definitely needs to wait in the background. Not a lot of health there. Remember, Cobalt Shadow's job is to heal the enemy. Ooh, and she gets sniped out. You see that. Sometimes the enemy team will target. Ooh, we have a... Oh, perfect. All right, so what we saw there was Evan Shane Aquamarine try to get into position. Again, you see that. 0% ultimate. Yikes. Okay, so we're sitting on maybe like 2.5 ultimates there. Not really great. Not really great. You want to try and put yourself in a position to use those ultimates, those ultimate attacks. But we'll take a look and see. So we got round 2. Reward. So first round goes... sorry, folks. I should have wrote down their name. Cherry Creek. Cherry Creek. Round 1 goes to Cherry Creek.
It thrills me to put aside my preparations and humor your brilliant inquiries, Doctor. It thrills me.
Okay, so we're going to follow... let's jump back to... We can go Skyfire a bit.
Nope.
So we're following Skyfire. That's Randy Anderson, grade 12 student. Support. Not bad. You know, actually, I've been recently, since our player versus staff, or student versus staff game, I've recently re-downloaded Overwatch, saying, okay, if I'm going to talk the talk, I'm going to walk the walk. And yeah, this character that Randy's playing can be actually quite devastating. Can be quite devastating. Nice teleporting technique. Hitting some damage. Looks like Bisons have actually captured the control point. Very good job. And to be honest, Bisons probably would have won the last round if not for that devastating ultimate. That's why it's important to utilize those ultimate attacks. Right? And you get ultimate, like the ultimate bar goes up depending on how much damage. Different heroes have different I guess, I don't know if it's justification for gaining. Ooh, yikes. Has different criteria for gaining ultimate. So with damage players, typically it is actually doing damage. So the more you shoot, the faster the ultimate comes up. If you're a support player, the more you heal, the faster you get your ultimate. So you want to see the damage players, you know, rack up the damage points. That'll help them get the ultimates, what they can use to make like game-breaking plays. So that's what we want to see. But we gotta watch out here because again, Aquamarine being a damage player, blast cannon, right? Needs to hide in the back. Cannot. All right, looks like he was taken out by Dave. Oh yeah, that Dave has that sniper. Absolutely devastating. I'd probably say this is their best player because that's who's been giving us the most trouble. Is Dave. It's kind of funny, Dave. Dave is their gamer tag. If only our Bisons had as nicely simple to remember gamer tags. But yeah, again, nice effort from Cobalt Shadow, switching between healing and damage. And we saw again another devastating ultimate. Okay, well that wasn't Dave, but okay, team wipe. So Bisons have to get out there. You know, not in an impossible place. All it takes, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not over till it's over. Bisons just need to get up to, even if they get up to 99%, Bisons need to just stop them in overtime, get cap, and then just refuse to give it up. Man, are they absolutely devastating with these ice walls. Perfectly timed blocking. Saying, nope. And again, I know it doesn't make sense. You're like, oh, okay, well, minorly inconvenience them. But remember, the Bisons don't have long. The Bisons, you know, every little stall works against the Bisons. Okay, good. So we got Bulio, this is Piper in here. Okay, we got... Come on! Close. No cigar. I'm interested to see where the... Oh, team wipe, that's why. And defeat. Okay, Chris sitting on an ultimate. Not good. Not good. Okay, so not a great start from the Bisons. But you know what? Not totally impossible. Whether or not it's just the Bisons shaking off the cobwebs. This team is definitely a beatable team. Definitely a beatable team. But you see there just, again, Bisons a little bit too clumped together. Not a lot of communication. Maybe, actually, I would say, maybe not so much communication. I would say more so just battle prep. Okay? Knowing that when you're on an objective like that, you don't want to clump up. You want to spread out a little bit more and maybe have one person hunting down, pushing out some players. You know, you're setting up a perimeter with when you're capping a point like that. So maybe having one damage and one support circling around just to make sure essentially situations like that don't happen. But it looks like all the Bisons were facing the same direction. It'll be interesting to see the replay on that and what's going on. But it looks like the Bisons are swapping out a player, so we are missing Piper. Piper looks like she's stepping down, and it looks like we're going to be putting in... Oh, we're putting back in Peter Haberstock, grade 11 student. He played tank for us last week. Didn't do too bad of a job, but let's take a look and see what he can put together for us. So anyway, so that's round one. Round one goes to Cherry Creek. Our next game mode is hybrid. So this is kind of a cool one, hybrid. Hybrid is, you know, again, step one, capture a point. Step two, turn that point into a payload and escort it to victory. So you see a good combination of, like, you know, both, like, there's a static place you need to capture, or a static place you need to defend, and then it turns into a payload mission where it starts moving. So it's like, hey, you got a moving target. So for the defense players, it's, hey, how far back do you want to, you know, should we go back to set up a defensive point, or should we push forward? Should we try to play aggressive, or do we want to kind of set up some ambushes along the way? Believe it or not, I know it feels like it takes forever when you're spectating. When you're playing, these game modes go quick. You blink, and next thing you know, they're already at the first checkpoint with the payload. All right, and we have Neohawk in. So again, this is Peter Haberstock, grade 11 student here, new to the esports program at LCBI. Definitely excited. It's nice to see the roster. We got right now 4. There are 4 LCBI Bisons in grade 12 that we're looking at cutting. So it's always nice to have some fresh perspective, some new players in. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Glad to have them on the team. So here we go. Enter your game of hybrid. Interesting to see who goes first. Whether or not it's the Bisons are defending or not. All right, now the players are picking their characters. Now, one other thing to keep in mind. It does matter who your other teammates are. Some characters play really well with others. And what I mean by that is they have complementary skills. So right now what they're doing, and the reason why you're saying, well, why do they have 20 seconds to pick characters? Like, just go. Part of that is because they have to coordinate, saying, hey, if I pick this guy, what does this mean? We have here obviously a new tank character. So again, he's going to have a different play style from the last one. But it looks like Bisons are actually on defense, so that's why they have now 26. Here's the objective. That red line you see on the ground is the path that the path that Cherry Creek's gonna be taking.
Shed the weight of your doubts, and your mind will become clear.
You know, I feel spoiled, ladies and gentlemen. There's that observer mode where you have like total observation mode. They don't give that to me on this just because I am a biased announcer. They don't want me peeking on the enemy team here, but spoiled with that. Here we have Christopher Summit, again, damage player. Laying down just some of the suppressive fire. Obviously, depending on where you shoot them, it does different damage. You shoot them near your head, you're gonna do more damage to them. Obviously, I think there is a damage reduction depending on the actual distance that you're shooting. So we have Christopher Summit pretty far off the back, and we see them using a devastating ice wall. I know the Bisons are allowed to say we don't want certain characters. That one character is a damage player that actually comes up with the ice wall. I maybe would cut that player because there's been a few times where you saw how they used that. The tank got too far forward. They threw up the wall. The tank goes, uh-oh, I'm trapped. And that's it. That's Jenga. So, okay, Cherry Creek captured the objective. Now they're making their way downtown with it. You see they're up at the top. Excuse me. You see them up at the top there. They have the meters, 21 meters, 22 meters. You got 5 minutes to get to that next objective. It's designated up as a so we have here Skyfire doing her darndest to keep the team alive. It is really important for the team to not only just focus on healing the tank, but also the DPS players. Because if they can't poke their heads out, you're having a bad time. Just like there we go, Evan Chang went a little too far out. I know he seems simple. Oh, what down. Bisons are getting hunted down. Alright, what do we say? Okay, so Evan Chang has an ultimate. That would be not too bad time. Poke your head out, buy some time. There you go. Hey, yeah. Make them apologize for coming in here. So now Evan's looking for an opportunity to use his ultimate. Now would be a perfect time to use his ultimate. Not using his ultimate. Still not using his ultimate. Yeah, the idea being you squeeze off those ultimates, because here's the thing, it's kind of like almost like a wasted damage thing. Players aren't using their ultimate. So like, especially for the DPS, when they use damage, when they pack damage on someone, they're gaining a percentage from it, right? So like that was actually a really good run by Evan Chang, where he did do a lot of damage. Maybe communication with the team on targeting the like always targeting so they can angle the same player. But not a bad run. Not a bad run. And that's what I'm saying. We're gonna have Neil Hawk here and unlock his ultimate, which will be good because this will be a way to push them out of here. And there we go. So now we have an ultimate. Let's get in there and into the action. Looking for an opportunity to use it. You don't want to wait too long with it. Okay, so we're seeing here a lot of opportunities for him to use his ultimate. He's getting healed. See, this is right now he could be building up ultimate. Choosing not to. I'm not sure what he's rationale is there. Right call, moving back. He got the lucky on the chance. Now's the time to use the ultimate. I don't. This is, and he got taken out. I'm not sure why. Yikes. Okay. All right. Well, we got Skyfire again. Has an ultimate. Now would be a great time to use it with teammates all damaged. The tank's not really in. Now would be a great time to use that ultimate. Again. So, oh, yikes. Yeah, I'm not sure what they were thinking. A lot of them had ultimates and just didn't use it. Lost the game anyway, and didn't use the ultimate. So there you go. Second round goes to Cherry Creek. We're gonna go into the third round. Teams are gonna coordinate, and yeah, we'll see what lessons they learned.
My heart is strong, and my javelin is sharp.
All right, and we're back. So our third game mode is escort. Oh no, this isn't. This is actually, sorry. This is I misspoke. We're now going to round 2, which is now the Bison's opportunity to attack. So the Bisons need to try
those who died
and
defending
hit all
this
3
place
checkpoints
have found peace.
with more time on the board remaining. So we'll see what they can put off. Now again, this is a really interesting game mode because Bisons need to push through. They need to push through the defense. You're going to see here good use of choke points and stuff. But again, it's going to be great, especially with the tank. This is where the action is going to be absolutely breaking through some of these initial choke points. So it looks like the Bisons have elected to kind of do a kind of a sneaky sneak. Yikes. I'm not sure what the sports were doing there, and the tank got absolutely melted. We need to see a coordinated attempt from the Bisons. Because what we're seeing just there is one by one, they're kind of poking their heads out, and they're getting taken out. Whereas, you know, you want to see like a nice aggressive assault is like the tank obviously in the front, your damage in the foreground or like off to the sides, but like still up at the front. So again, like the enemy's almost like, who do I shoot at? Who do I shoot at? But when you just kind of run in like this, just one at a time, or you just have your tank up there, and, you know, you're not sure what your damage your DPS players are doing. It's kind of easy, right? Like, giving them only one person to attack. Nice, good instincts from Skyfire here. Right move to make. Jumping between, you know, healing the damage and healing the tank. Remember, the tank has a lot of armor. They don't necessarily need to have full-time heals. Good work there. Keep up. Again, all you're doing is adding. And here we have an ultimate. Okay, doing not too bad. Don't lose sight of the objective though. And they do a great job. Okay. So we got the Bisons now on the objective. Looks like we scared off Cherry Creek. 2 of the Bisons are respawning and making their way to the objective. Oh, nice. Okay, Bisons is set. Now let's capture the payload. More time gets added to the board, and they're making their way down. So this is great. They can keep at a distance.
Assistance would be appreciated.
Nice. We don't want to leave the tank here by themselves too much. Remember, you want to have a good presence on the payload. Because if you're too far away, nothing stops them from running up to it and just holding that thing and dead in the tracks.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Reaper.
Ultimate being used takes out the entire team. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're sitting on 4 ultimates. Bisons need to actually start using some of these. Yikes. Okay, so let's see what opportunities Bisons can give. Yikes. Like we need to start seeing the Bisons coordinate. Here's another one. Cobalt Shadow has an ult. Gotta use it. Pretty good use now. Again, you might be looking saying, well, there was no KOs used for that ultimate. Again, because you used the ultimate, that pushed them back. Right, here we go. Okay, so Bisons are using their ultimates now. And look, they got captured. Here we go. Yeah, good. Bisons, they figured it out. Figured it out. Oh, except for that one. Cobalt Shadow just was taken out.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Reaper.
Another ultimate. Yikes, not enough healing for... But again, we saw there an ultimate get used, and that pushed the Bisons off. I mean, that's how powerful these attacks are, right? You use an ultimate, you're gonna, and even if again it's a failed ultimate, it doesn't matter because they're gonna be pushed back. Thinking, oh no, I don't want to get hit by that thing. So again, even if you miss, you don't miss. Okay, so we have Aquamarine has one. Not too bad. We flush them out using their ultimate attack. So there we go. Here we go. This is what we've been waiting for. Okay, so again, cause some confusion. Ooh, Bisons are really coming in here close. Yeah, the enemy team has an ultimate. This is a devastating thing for Bisons. You also want to be careful with that too, because okay, there we go. Bisons are moving payload. They only got 50
Adaptive
seconds
circuits
left.
engaged. Orisa.
We might get triggered into an overtime here. But again, we have here Peter Hart, Aberstock with an ultimate. Let's see if he can find an opportunity to use it. He's going to have to if he wants to get to this next checkpoint. But he does need the support. Not bad. We can see there, good attempt at using the ultimate. However, if the support players aren't there to back up the tank, then we're in trouble. You see here the Bisons kind of flailing to go. And I mean, you know, we see this quite a bit. You know, it's when you're like, oh, I got lots of time. And like I said, I know it might seem like this is a long match. When you're actually playing, it does take a long. Like it doesn't take as long as you think. Time goes by really quickly. I know it sometimes happens if you're not aware of time. It can sneak away on you. You look good. I only have 5 minutes. Yikes. Okay. So anyway, that's all right. Now we're going to escort. So this is one team pushes the payload through the checkpoints, the other tries to stop them. Awesome game mode. I am a bit confused. I'm a bit confused at Play VS's ordering. Because, like, you know, you do control, hybrid, escort. I mean, that's kind of like you're putting the hybrid in between them. But, like, let's get some push. Push is my favorite game mode, the best game mode. I don't think anybody could have a better game mode than push. But anyway, so yeah, we're going to escort. So it's just essentially a watered-down version of the last game mode. So hang tight, folks, and we'll be back right away. All right, and we're back. So, Bison's right now assembling their heroes, coordinating with each other, seeing which characters they wanna select. All right, and here we go. All right, so same lineup as last time. Looks like Bison's are on defense, so they have to stop the payload. So they're making their way downtown, walking fast.
With each step,
setting up their defense, getting ready to set up the defenses. You can see that blue line. That's showing them where they need to go to get to the enemy payload.
Throw them into my web.
And there we see it. There's the payload that the Bisons need to get ready. So okay, so we have Christopher Summick changing up the character, his DPS character. I lovingly call this character Legolas. You'll see why. Devastating with a bow. There you go. Has recon.
Keep slide.
Stop the pain.
Sniper.
Bison's doing a nice job. Nice instincts from
There the test subject.
Stomach. Yikes, hunted down. Now this is the challenge. We had both damage players. We're looking at them right now. Both damage players side by side. Okay, side by side. And as a result, you know, the other team saw that, capitalized on that. Said, oh, let's just take a little detour. Never mind this objective. Let's go deal with their damage players right now. And now you have a tank and two supports. Okay, so we see here Diva, which is a the enemy tank.
Misery made manifest.
This one kind of sucks. I'm glad to see Christopher Summick playing Soldier 76. Not really using his team health as much. I don't know if Chris knows this, but if he actually heals his teammates, that actually goes to promoting his ultimate. So we see there, I mean, with this character, he actually has potential to take some of the pressure off of the support. All right, Bison's now team respawn here. They're making their way back to the objective. Remember, the idea here is they just want to stop these guys in the tracks. Yeah, they gotta get into cover.
Hey, receive my aid. Under my protection.
So we have Null, Neo Hawk. Needs the support. Needs to get in there and absolutely devastate. Now would be a great time. Now would be a very great time to use it. Now would be an excellent time. Now, still not. Okay, all right. He's just gonna do his own thing. Okay. Had a very. Oh boy. Again, I'm not sure what he was waiting for to use his ultimate. Again, when you have the support, I mean, you really don't have any more of a better scenario. Oh my goodness, yeah, all right. We're sitting on 4 ults. Both damage players just got sniped. That's karma for sitting on their ults. All right, but they're respawning now. They're going to use their ults. They're going to put themselves in a position where they can use it from a distance.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
If I was Chris, now I would be using it. Now I would definitely be using it. Yeah, no, see, and that's okay, yeah. All right. Oh, okay. Yeah. You see, this is the challenge. You know, you don't want to sit and wait on your ults until like the perfect time. It's never going to present itself. But I am glad to see the Bisons did finally use them, with the exception of one Bison. But the Bisons did actually use the ults before the match is up. Again, there's a reason why those are game-changing attacks, game-changing buffs. They're ultimate attacks for a reason, right? If you have the choice between doing an ultimate attack and just a regular attack, you're going to pick the ultimate. So again, the Bisons, slow progress, but again, it's essentially as soon as you get that ultimate, your immediate job is to find a place to put it, right? It's look and say, okay, so with Soldier 76, they're using that ultimate. Right off the get-go, as soon as you saw those characters, what I know Soldier 76's ultimate is essentially an auto finder. So it's like a aimbot, right? So that's where you have that, and it's just in the corner, and all you do is you're just hitting them damage, and that is enough to typically scare them away because Soldier 76 does do a lot of damage. So, yeah, shame the ult wasn't used at as early as it could have. As early
Who
as it could have.
exactly do you think
But that's
I
okay.
am?
We're gonna go
someone
into
who
this round.
carries
So
bandages?
Bisons have to make it
guess not.
3 checkpoints with over 4 minutes left on the board. Let's see what they can put up. Yeah. Let's get into the action. Here we go.
Mission underway.
All right, and Bison's making their way to the payload. Doing a pretty good job communicating. There's that one character doing that flying, kind of annoying. Maybe a couple damages could aggro that individual and get him knocked out here. But we see here Cherry Creek setting up a relatively decent defense. They get lots of confusion. That tank is devastating. D.Va is such a devastating tank. I don't know why. Whenever I play as D.Va, I always feel like I have no armor, no nothing. Whenever there's an enemy D.Va, maybe it's just the red. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Still have her tank, not too bad. Chasing the D.Va out. Definitely some more support. Heals out. Ultimate attacks. You gotta be careful there. Essentially, ran in there and exposed their back. So good strategic retreat. Pressure up, saying, no, we're not going to let you determine where this battle is going to take place. So yeah, you're seeing actually this very good play from Peter. Essentially playing, look at me, look at me, look at me. I got lots of health. Look at me. So good strategic play. Good, yeah, chase them out. Chase them out. You don't need to take them out. You just need to get that objective for it. That's a wonderful job from Peter. Let's go take a look at Christopher Summit, C-Play Games.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Cassidy.
Yeah. God, I think that was their alternate attack. But here we go. Okay, so Christopher Summit has his ultimate. This ultimate, I know for Cassidy, the character he's playing, can be particularly devastating. All he needs to do is get the jump on them, and anybody in his sights are taken out. Now again, you don't want to, I wouldn't use this right now if I was him, just because again, his team isn't in a position to take advantage of it. And as it stands right now, a bit devastating. You have to wait for that tank to catch up. So Chris is waiting, hopefully for the tank to get in there. Don't play that game. And here we go. Okay, so now's the time, right? So you want to get up, let them go forward. You're gonna get. Now would be a good time.
Meet your fate.
Get some flank. Now would be the time to use the ultimate. Get 3 of them. I wonder if they got actually needed by the payload itself. But again, not too bad of a push. Like, look at that. So Chris used his ultimate, and he's already at 16 out of 100 points. Right, that's what I'm saying. As soon as you get your ultimate, use your ultimate, because it starts charging up as soon as you're done. So here we go. The next one, we're going to be watching Aquamarine, seeing how now this should be easy, because they're going to be all sitting on the payload. They're going to be pre-clumped up together. So here's one of the two things. We've seen Evan use this ultimate before. It fires a rock in the air, it crashes down, right? If Evan can use this ultimate, he needs to hide.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Orisa.
But if Chris can use it, or if Evan can use the ultimate, there we go. It goes and separates them exactly like that, which leads to them getting separated, KO'd. Again, even if you misuse it, which he didn't, you still can get a benefit from it, which is exactly what we're seeing. The Bison's using ultimates and moving forward. All right, then you gotta watch out. Evan is not a quick to deal. Close. I saw where Evan was going with that, and that got that assist. The Bisons are fighting for every inch right now. We're in overtime. And that is defeat for the Bisons. Again, not bad. Not a bad. Again, we're seeing progress. But yeah, I mean, again, we saw the Bisons using their ultimates, and laying the hurt down. That's what we want to see. We want to see them do that. We want to see them use their ultimates. We want to see them communicate with each other, coordinate with each other, and the Bisons did exactly that. So, great job from the Bisons. Unfortunately, that wraps up tonight's game series. Was a great game series. I think the Bisons definitely have a lot more to work on, and they're going to be working on that as the season progresses. But until next week, thanks for stopping by. LCBI, God bless, go Bisons.